Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Libra December 31, 2022. Mercury turns retrograde in your communications sector today, and some of the new work or endeavors in your life could come up for review. Fortunately, through delays or slowdowns, you might discover new ways to express yourself, ways that wouldn't have come to mind otherwise. In fact, this retrograde cycle can be a powerful time for reviving old projects and reviewing and revising work already in progress. Until January 18th, there can be some delays or backtracking, particularly concerning studies, transportation, and essential communications. The need to revisit old, unresolved issues or events now can prompt some rethinking of how you connect and get around. Aim to get all the facts before you jump into something today. Thoughts and conversations tend to revolve around sorting out past problems. There is a lot of charm and humor in your manner and communications today, even if the words are not always perfect. Even with meandering discussions, new light may be shed on a problem or issue at the back of your mind. Today's celestial weather is quite sweet. As mental Mercury, our cosmic messenger of the mind and communication, dances in the heavens above, he'll unite in an exact alignment with sweet Venus, our goddess planet of romance and attraction. This ensures that socializing, meeting new people, or going on a magical date will be at the top of your mind. Be creative and express yourself now, as you could realize that your ability to channel the muse is much more potent at this time. You will be quite in touch with what you love, whom you love, and why you love them. Think before you speak. Courageously taking the lead with your routine, habits, and a to-do list at work might spur you into action during the first quarter moon in Aries. But you should wait, since something might be misconstrued in conversation when Mercury stations retrograde in Capricorn. Mercury retrograde is notorious for causing miscommunication and missing information, so you will have to be extra thorough over the next few weeks during this transit to ensure that you are on the same page with your coworkers. It might help to get everything in writing to avoid potential issues. As Mars moves into his final 2 weeks in retrograde motion in your financial sector, the warrior planet of the cosmos is slowing down. Needing to come to a standstill in order to turn direct, this might see money matters move slowly or even become stalled, but this gives you a chance to extract what you can from this old financial year. This also brings the promise of a turnaround ahead. To keep your energy going strong at this time, it is important to keep an eye on your dairy intake. Dairy slows the metabolism. Walking and running will help burn off dead baggage energy, but make sure you stretch out your lower body thoroughly before engaging in these activities, as hips and thighs are sensitive areas for active people. The liver is taxed due to today's busy lifestyles, so use milk thistle, herbal tincture, in your tea to cleanse it, about 15 drops per cup. If you've never conducted an online workshop or given a speech, and it's on your agenda for the day, go for it with absolute confidence. You won't find a better time than this day for addressing a crowd. Your ability to communicate and charm will be at an all-time high, making you the perfect person for the job. Take the time to get things straight in your mind and make notes if you need to beforehand. Then just go for it, because you're going to do great. What makes the timing of Mercury's retrograde turn in your communication sector yesterday significant is that it comes just as Uranus has moved into his final weeks in retrograde motion in your relationship sector. They will both stay in retrograde motion for the rest of the year and into the first 3 weeks of 2023, and until turning direct within days of each other. This will also bring them back into harmony, with a repeat of the friendly aspect they have already formed, this time with both focused on the past. This has the communication and relationship gods forming an even tighter bond. It is during Mercury, the planet of communication's first full day in retrograde motion in your communication sector, that an alignment with Venus peaks. This is a coming together of Venus' mission to give your heart and your relationships a voice, and Mercury's mission to give the past and unsaid words a voice. With Uranus in his final weeks in retrograde motion in your relationship sector, the timing couldn't be better. Our eyes in the sky. Your passionate, fiery side will be highlighted today as the moon takes its first steps in the sign of Aries. The energy here can become quite emotional, and the temptation to stay in bed and close out the world could be real. A connection between the moon and Jupiter could also make you feel overwhelmed, especially when it comes to responsibilities. It might not be easy to put on a brave face this morning, so be gentle with yourself and others as everyone attempts to navigate this messy cosmic climate. You will feel slightly out of sync with the people around you today. Try not to blame yourself for this phenomenon. Realize that this simply has to do with the difficult cosmic energy of the day. Relations will be better tomorrow. Wait it out. Don't be too quick to judge someone else's work. You may think it is wrong simply because you don't understand it. Take your time and ask questions before jumping to the conclusion that the work has been done incorrectly. You may learn something. As we continue into the evening, the moon squares the sun, creating some emotional fluctuations, and you might feel more sensitive than usual. This is a good time to release any fears or hurt feelings you might be harboring. Give yourself permission to unplug and save significant conversations for another day. It's important to put yourself and your well-being first. Take a moment to let go of anything you feel is holding you back, so you can head into the new year feeling refreshed. Strong-willed people may stand in your way today. Do your best to avoid them altogether. Their thinking is not along the same lines as yours. Communication with these types of people is only going to complicate matters instead of clarifying them. Mercury begins its retrograde journey in Capricorn today, so prepare yourself for the usual miscommunications and aggravations that accompany this transit. Stay calm and carry on. After midnight, messenger planet Mercury stations retrograde for the final time this year in pragmatic Capricorn. As this station coincides with the new year, we may opt to be a bit more flexible in setting our resolutions for 2023 now. At the very least, consider leaving them open to revision until Mercury stations direct on January 18th. Mercury retrograde will do its thing, provoking misunderstandings, crashing electronics, and causing us to voice sentiments at inopportune times. Most of all, it will force us to reflect upon our goals. As we make decisions heading into January, treat yourself with patience and give others a bit of grace. Don't get down on yourself if you aren't immediately successful on your first attempt at a new venture. You may feel as if your support group is leaving you high and dry today. Perhaps you are given a task with very little guidance on how to complete it. Don't worry. Have confidence in yourself. You are given nothing you can't handle yourself. Following this, the moon enters Aries, ending its void of course which began last night. Over the next 2 days, the moon and Jupiter are the only planets transiting fire signs. With so many planets in earth signs now, we need this extra boost of enthusiasm to keep us motivated. To optimally channel this energy, seek out physical activities to get your body moving. Especially in the northern hemisphere, these colder months can turn us into couch potatoes. Get your circulation going and watch as your mood is boosted.